Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Untitled Chapter from the East Varsity representing the Bulldogs. Thank you for joining us this evening for the Bulldogs singing night. We are going to honor our singers prior to the evening. The first singer that we're going to honor is HBHC. Ways to set up our convention and everybody else in Ontario, New Zealand. Ways to play hockey for 4 years. It's been remembering for being a high-level hockey players and expecting each night. The largest impact on Wade's hockey career is the end of the country. One lesson that Wade has learned is to clean up the graduation. To never give up and trust the way that he is with. After graduation, Wade is going to go into well, and his advice for younger players is to never back down, never do. Ladies and gentlemen, Wade promotion. Our next speaker is Justin Live. His host parent is with him this evening, Mr. Highland. Justin has been playing hockey for 13 years. His favorite memory being a part of the Highland Bulldogs Hockey Club was the first game in which he scored on his first ever shift. The biggest impact on him during his hockey career was his dad. But one lesson he always wants to take with him after graduation is to always believe in himself. After high school graduation, Justin will be going to college in California. And his advice for young players for closing remarks: never sit next to Josh Russell in the locker room. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin. Our next speaker is Jackie Rowe. Jackie is hockey for the Bulldogs for many years. I was the playing hockey for many years. His favorite memory of Bulldogs hockey is playing tryout his junior year playoffs because it was a fun hockey movie experience. Coach George has made him the player that he is today. He's pushed him to become a better player every day, on and off the ice. A lesson that hockey's taught him is that his biggest enemy is himself. He wants you to get in the dirty areas sometimes. He says, it's going to hurt really hard. But if you keep going, you'll come out better on the other side. After graduation, Jack plans to go to paramedic school and become a firefighter, continuing to serve and love others. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack. Our next speaker is Brian Ritter. He's been playing 6 years with the Bulldogs hockey club and 7 years ago. His favorite memory being a part of the Bulldogs hockey club is riding in the underclassmen practices and Grand City in their practices. The biggest impact on Ryan is to have careers with Coach Hawkins, who taught him how to be a good athlete and a great human being. One lesson that Hawkins taught is to do 3 things that you're interested in, even if you have to give up something else. After graduation, Mark plans to attend college at undecided location, play football, and study 3 men. His advice for younger players: have fun, take in the numbers, and treat your friends like family. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been playing hockey for 7 years. His favorite memory of being a Bulldog is catching a fly with a worm. He says that Coach also has had his biggest impact on his hockey career. One lesson that he's taking with him after graduation is don't take anything seriously. His plans after graduation, he's still exploring different options. And advice for younger players who close their works, he says, don't listen to the rest of us. Ladies and gentlemen, cash balls. Thank you to our seniors and their parents for supporting Highland Bulldog hockey, and for those of you who came out tonight. We appreciate it. Let's make some money.
Well, good evening and welcome to Bulldogs hockey. It's senior night here at the RP Lumber Center, where we've honored our seniors. Now we're going to get ready for a battle against the East Alton-Wood River Oilers. We got a spectator session here, group here tonight. Get their pictures with the seniors. You don't want to see me. As you'd expect with any senior night, Konieczny will get the start in between the pipes as we'll get ready to take warm-ups, and then we'll be back in just a few moments as we'll get ready to start your Highland Bulldogs varsity hockey. No, it's muted.
Welcome to Untitled Chapter with the Eastern Order, Roxana, Bulldogs. Let's start with the Eastern Order, Roxana. So I think we're cheers on the side. And now for your team, Highland Bulldogs, starting out on number 3, senior Wyatt Rinder.
On the wing, number 3, senior Wyatt Rinder. Also on the wing, wearing number 66, Cash Wallace. At center, or defense tonight, number 19, Justin Lai. Number 55, junior, Gus Tolley. And at center, wearing number 5, and your captain, Jack Nemo. And in between the pipes tonight, senior, Wade Konieczny, in between in the blue paint. Each team getting their buckets on, making final preparations as we get ready to start the first period. 14 minutes on the clock. Middle will take the draw. He'll have Rinder and Wallace on the wings, backed up by Lai and Tolley. One back to Lai. He'll retreat into his own zone, takes it for a walk, hammers it up the boards for Wallace. Wallace clears it out of the zone, and Nemo races in, but returned back to the blue line by East Alton-Wood River. Chipped down the ice. Rinder with a nice hit, and that's into the zone, but Tolley will handle it. Over to Lai. He'll look for some open ice. Clears it out. And now Nemo's on his horse. He gets tripped up. Cash Wallace intercepts, but he'll get his pocket pick. Rinder picks it away as he strips it from the Oilers. Rinder walks it out. Shot and a save with the glove by Freeman. Freeman is actually the same age as my son. So we've seen him plenty of times in goaltending duels throughout the years. He's a fantastic goalie, and it's going to take more movement than that to beat him on a glove side. Hoyt on the draw. One over to Weiss. He'll fire one on net. Resman over to Gunter. He'll dump it down and in. Weiss over on the far board. Skates it towards the net. Makes a move. Tries to work it out front. Looking for Gunter. Gunter fires one. That goes just wide. And back over to the far boards for Hoyt. Hicks will fire it in. Down to Gunter. He'll settle it and take a shot. And now Weiss will battle in the corner. He'll rim it around for Hoyt. Drops it down for Gunter. Out front to Weiss, and that gets picked off by a skate of an Oiler. Gunter gets taken to the boards. He gets it out in front. That's going to come out to Resman at the point as they're unable to clear it. Back down for Gunter. Oh, he centers it to Weiss, and he misses the one-timer from the top of the blue paint. The Oilers will bring it back the other way. Hicks will cut off the dump in. He'll skate it around the boards. Fires it up the glass for Gunter. Gunter finds Josh Resman at the blue line, and he'll skate it out in over the blue line, trying to work it over to Hicks. Hicks will chase into the corner. He'll leave it for Resman. They center it. It's going to come all the way up to Cooper. Hicks at the point. He'll fire one in, and looking for the redirection that goes just wide. And Landon Hicks will skate it. Gets it over to Resman. He'll fire it in, and that's a goal. As Resman uses the Oiler defender as a screen, and it's 1-0 Bulldogs with 11:52 left to go in the first period. Nimmo on the draw with Hazelhorst and Wallace on the wing. Run one over to Hazelhorst. He'll chop it forward. Dumped in to the Bulldog defensive zone. Totally battled up the puck. Nimmo comes in, returns the favor. Drops it off for Tolley. He'll work it behind his own net. Around the boards for Lai. Lai back around far side for Wallace. And the Oilers are able to hold. And they'll give it a shot up this sheet ice. Oh, Nimmo with a big reverse hit. Hazelhorst taking some shrapnel there as well. Lai working it north, backed up by Hazelhorst. He'll dump it down and in. And that's cleared down by East Alton-Wood River. Totally back to pick it up. He'll throw the brakes on. Tries to work it up to Nimmo. Hazelhorst will get it. He'll chop it forward. That's going to go in on net. And the East Alton-Wood River goaltender will decide to freeze the puck, take the defensive zone face-off with 10:51 left to go in the first. 6 shots to 0 already in favor of Highland. They've got 1 in the goal column already. Boyd on the draw with Gunter and Weiss. Bulldogs will pick it away. Hoyt taken to the boards. And they turn it over. Gunter tries to fire one. He can't. Fans on the shot, and it's back the other way. They'll wind up through center ice, bringing a shot off the pipe as he beats Konieczny blocker side on the first shot of the game. And it's evened up at 1 apiece with 10:31 left to go in the first period. Bulldogs try to chip it in. It's brought out by East Alton-Wood River. They bring it in over the blue line. Down low, Resman lets it go. Follows it up. Over to his brother, Josh Resman. Up to Hicks. He'll hammer it into the zone, and Hicks and Howard will go in on the forecheck, but Freeman will put a glove on it, freeze it for a face-off to his right. Josh Resman on the draw, backed up by Jake Resman. Cooper Hicks. He'll win it back to Jake Resman, who throws it towards the net. Resman will cut it off. They try to put it off the back of the goaltender. And Hicks will work it around at the top of the circle. Able to hold. They're going to call that offside as Hicks tries to walk the blue line. 9:50 left to go in the first. 1-1 is the score. Wood River wins it back. Hicks kicks it into the zone. Bulldogs will tag up. And they'll go in on the forecheck. Cleared out by the Oilers. Resman, Jake Flavor works it north. Nimmo up the boards for himself. He'll wind up. Gets it into the zone. Brings it in with some speed. Forehand, backhand. And he'll throw it over to Jax Orn. Orn in the corner. Tries to fire one at a hard angle. And the goaltender will have that sealed up for a whistle and another faceoff to his right. 9:22 left to go in the first. 1-1 is the score if you're just joining us on senior night. Nimmo on the draw, backed up along with Grinder and Orn. Backed up by Resman and Hicks. Fired towards the net. Orn turns, fires. Oh, goes just wide, blocker side. And Resman will dump it down and in. Grinder able to pinch, trying to work it towards Nimmo. Nimmo back the other way for Grinder. He'll try to get it out front for Orn. Cleared out by the Oilers. It's all the way down the ice. And the Oiler goaltender will settle it. Oh, Rinder with a monster hit to set the tone. Chopped towards the net by Hoyt. Gunter with it, sends it towards the net. Rebound. Hoyt fires it out front. And Gunter's there on the doorstep looking for a tap in with 8:23 left to go in the first. Oilers taking some liberty tonight with some hits. And Rinder returns the favor, showing the Bulldogs' physicality. Hoyt, Weiss, and Gunter up front, backed up by Tolley and Lai. One over to Weiss. He'll chip it towards the net, and Gunter will go in on the forecheck. He'll pick it up. Skates it out to the face-off circle. Sends it all the way over to Tolley. Tolley down low for looking for Hoyt. And we'll go all the way around for Weiss. Back to Hoyt. Cut off in front of the net. And Lai will dump it back down and in for Weiss. Weiss over to Hoyt. He walks it in, fires a shot, and the goaltender will swallow that up in his midsection, and no rebound opportunity for the Bulldogs. Hoyt on the draw, wins it back to Tolley. He'll fan on this shot. And the Oilers will bring it out to neutral ice. They work it forward where it's settled by Lai. He'll send it hard off the boards, and that's going to come all the way out to the point. Weiss with a nice hit. And the Oilers will throw it cross corner. Gunter picks it up, throws the brakes on. He'll try to chop it out of the zone. Lai there as well. Gunter will lift that out. That's settled at the point. They fire it in. Konechny kicks it away. And Gunter will try nope. He's going to go back up the same sheet of ice, and that's going to come out to Weiss. Over to Lai. Lai in on the races in. Fires one, blocker save by Freeman. And cleared out to Resman at the blue line, and he'll get regroup as he tosses it back to his brother Jake the Snake Resman. Stretch pass over to Cash Wallace, who chips it in for Hicks. Josh Resman there as well. Cooper Hicks. Move, shot. Out to Resman. Fires one, looking for a redirection on the backside. We'll go all the way through, and Jake the Snake Resman centers it to his brother. Reagan Dortch sends it towards the net. Wallace snaps it on net, looking to create some magic from the other night, and that'll be a save for Freeman with 6:30 left to go. In the first, 1-1 is the score. 13 shots to 2 in favor of the Bulldogs. Resman takes the draw, chops it towards the net. And the Oilers will stretch that out of the zone. They bring it in. Dortch gets a body in the lane. Konechny with a big save. And the rebound goes down low, where the Resman boys go to work. Dumped back in by the Oilers. Josh Resman trying to find some open ice. He tries to wheel it up the near side to find Cash Wallace, but that will make it out to neutral ice. And the Oilers will chip it back in. Dortch hard out to the point. That's going to come back the other way in a 2-on-2. And it's poked away by the Oilers. And they'll dump it back down and in. Jake the Snake Resman over on the near boards will get there first. He'll try to chip it around. And that's centered out front. Shot goes wide of Konieczny in net. Resman and Rinder get it out of the zone. Rinder winds up, dances it in wide. Centers it. Oh, yeah, Josh Resman right there at the doorstep. And that's back out, just out of the reach of Hicks. And we'll get an icing whistle in an O-zone faceoff for the Bulldogs with 5:15 left to go in the first. Nimmo on the draw, wins it over to Rinder. Rinder sends it towards the net. Looking for Hazelhorst. Nimmo on the near glass, drops it out to Hicks at the point. He'll try to drive it down low. Oilers will lift the stick of Hazelhorst and skate it over to the near corner. They get it out to center ice. And that's going to go into the Bulldogs bench. And we'll get a face-off. I believe they're going to point at center ice. Nimmo on the draw. Oilers will win it back, chop it north, and turn it over to Rinder, who fires it in the zone. And Nimmo will go in on the forecheck. He'll strip that puck, takes it for a skate, out to the face-off circle, over to Hicks. Hicks will walk it in, fires one that goes just wide. Foley down the pinch, dumps it down and in. And the Oilers should have an easy break out here. They'll send that through the legs of Hazelhorst. They'll bring it in, fires one wide of Konieczny. Over to the far boards, Tolley puts some pressure on, and Nimmo will block the shot. Tolley just putting the hits on. Nimmo will come in, take the body, and Tolley will pick up the puck. They'll rim it around for Rinder. Rinder over to the far side for Weiss. Send that towards the net, looking for Nimmo. Rinder picks it up down low. Turns, sends it there. Oh, Nimmo robbed by the goaltender. They'll fire another one on net, and that's in the net. The referee blows the whistle, but still points. He's going to call it a goal. We're going to take it, but I don't know if I 100% agree with it as a goalie, Dan. But with 3:36 left to go in the second period, it's 2-1 Bulldogs. Coach Mitchell from the Oilers is also pleading his case. I can't say that I disagree with him. He's also a goaltender, when his hips will allow him to be. They'll line up at center ice like they're going to take the face off. I think that's the only outlet here at the moment. Good call or bad, we're going to have to play on. 17 shots to 3 in favor of the Bulldogs. They wave it off. I think that's the right call to make. And so they'll take the face off to the right of Freeman. And while as a Bulldog fan, I hate to see it, as a goalie dad, I got to agree with it. We'll get Hoyt on the draw with Hauer and Gunter. One over to Gunter. He'll drive it down low. Gunter tries to hammer it in front. Loose and cleared out to the point. Resman holds. He'll try to work it. He'll hold on to it. Skates it down low. Drawing in a couple of defenders. Tries to go cross ice for Hoyt, and that's out into neutral ice. And it's lifted into the zone by the Oilers. Lai leaves it for Gunter. And now it's a 3-on-1 back the other way. Gunter tries to go over to Hoyt. And that's in the corner. I like seeing Zach Hauer parked right out front. Take those eyes away. Lai files one just a bit outside. And that'll come all the way out to the point for Resman. He'll work it down low for Gunter. Back over to Hauer. He'll send one on net. Jake Resman throws one on the backhand. Gunter out to Lai. Lai fires one off the leg pad. Hoyt at the point holds. And now the Oilers are going to bring it out. They'll hold on to it, drops it off for the trailer. Konechny with the leg pad save. They send it back through behind the back of Konechny. And it comes over to the near side for Rinder. He winds up with some speed. Rinder, almost converts as he tries to tuck it in near side post on the backhand. And the Oilers will pick it up down low. And they'll skate it out, but Rinder will dump it back in. Oilers fire it out. They're going to wave that off. And Dortch will retreat down to pick up the puck. That comes out front. Hicks leaves it for Resman. Over to Rinder. Rinder trying to get there. Tries to work it over to Hicks over on the far side. Hicks will drop it off down low for Rinder. Rinder throws it right through the crease, but just off the mark of Resman. And Cooper Hicks will skate it down low. They'll send it over to Rinder. Rinder snaps one. Hicks on the backhand goes just wide. And that's cleared out by the Oilers. Dortch in a foot race with McHatton. And McHatton taken wide by Dortch. They skated out front. McHatton again. Shot, save Konechny, and Resman clears out the rebound. He fires it off a body. Dortch over to the near side for Rinder. Rinder brings it in. Tries to center it. That's off an Oilers skate. Hicks is there. Can't strip it away from the Oilers, and they'll wind up down the near side. Konechny with a save, and he'll bring it back into his glove for a whistle with 23 seconds left to go in the first period. Score is 1-1. Shots are 22-7 in favor of the Bulldogs with just 23 seconds left to go in the first period. Oilers win it back. Nimmo with a big hit. Orrin skates it into the zone. He's got Gunter. Orrin fires one. That's just a howitzer up high. And it's going to come out to neutral ice as Nimmo will try to set it up over for Gunter. Gunter lifts it in, but that'll do it. into the first period with a score of 1-1. We'll be back in just a few moments with the second period. Konieczny out to the crease as we get ready to start the second. 14 minutes on the clock, 1-1. We'll get Wallace, Weiss, and Hoyt. Hoyt wins it over to the boards. He'll chop it into the zone, and Weiss will go in on the forecheck. Oilers bring it right up the middle. Wallace knocks it away, and Hicks will lift it into the zone. Bulldogs will tag up. Hoyt bodied off the puck. Hicks picks it away. Resman throws it down low for Hoyt. He'll send it over to Weiss. Oh, he can't connect on the one-timer, but a good opportunity. That's the movement you'll need to beat Freeman in net. Resman over to Hicks. Hoyt will one-touch it. Weiss tries to dump it in. And Hicks turns that one over. Oilers try to get it right out front. That's knocked away by a stick. And Hoyt will work it out into neutral ice. Wallace clears it up the boards. And Weiss will go in on the forecheck. Wallace with a nice hit. They send it down the other way, and Konieczny will make a glove save. He'll frame that one up. That was also strike territory with 12:50 left to go in the first period. 1-1 the score if you're just tuning in. Bulldogs had a goal called back in the first period, which I believe is the right call. Resman on the draw. Wins it back to Tully, who rims it hard around. Leads Gunter. Gunter. That should be an interference call. Gunter with Hicks. Over to Hicks. Goal! Gunter to Landon Hicks, and it's in the back of the net on a set play to spring Gunter early. And the Bulldogs take that 2-1 lead back with 12:41 left to go in the second period. Resman on the draw, wins it back. High turns it over, knocked away by Tully. Hicks drops it off for Resman. Resman brings it in with Gunter. Shot, save. Working it back out in front. Hicks is there again. Oh, there's no way that didn't go in. He got a hold of it somehow. I don't know how it didn't make it in over the goaltender. on the rebound opportunity from Hicks, but that's an amazing save with 12:26 left to go in the second. 26 shots to 8 in favor of the Bulldogs. Nimmo on the draw with Renderer and Hazelhorse. We got the 3-4-5 line here. Oilers win it back. They'll send it up the boards. Snapped in by Lai. Tolley will come down to pinch. Hazelhorse will pick it up below the net. He tries to hit Nimmo, and the Oilers pick it away, and they'll bring it back the other way. Nimmo and Hazelhorse strip it and dump it down and in. That comes out to Nimmo at the point. Picked away, and that's dumped back in by the Bulldogs. They'll tag up and go back in on the forecheck. Oilers trying for that stretch pass. That's going to go all the way down for an icing whistle and a face-off, I believe, to the left of the Oiler goaltender. Boyd on the draw. Wins it back out to Jake the Snake Resman. He fires it in. That's blocked by Timmons from the Oilers. Timmons winds up, brings it in wide. Dortch back to defense. Shot goes wide to Konechny around the boards for Wallace. They'll try to chop it forward, but the Oilers will control it. They fire a shot wide to Konechny again. Hoyt with it now. Tries to work it forward for Wallace. Held at the point. That'll trickle in on net. Konechny's going to jump to the task and get a glove on it, freeze it, and a change comes for the Bulldogs with Hicks, Resman, Josh Flavor, and Gunter. Jake the Snake Resman and Reagan Dortch backing them up on the defensive end. They win it back. Same play as before. They rim it around for Gunter, right over to Hicks. He'll blaze it in, brings it in wide. Oh, drops it off. Goal! Rebound. Josh Resman Jr. makes it 3-1 on the same set play, but he picks up the rebound this time as Hicks throws it on net. And a big juicy rebound right at the top of the crease. Makes it easy to bring it to 3-1 Bulldogs. One back for Jake the Snake Resman. He'll chip it into the zone. They bring it back the other way. Dortch snaps it over to the near side for Resman. He'll lead it over into the far corner for Gunter. Gunter comes in, takes the body and the puck. Trying to work it out front as he's tag team. Dortch down to pinch. She'll hammer it down low for Gunter. Gunter trying to center it. That's cut off. Back the other way. Oilers. Shot. Goal. That should have been a penalty as the Oilers stripped and held the stick of Jake Resman, who's on defense. And it's a freebie for the Oilers as the Oilers actually drop their own stick and then hold on to Resman's. Should have been a holding call and a power play for the Bulldogs. Instead, it's 3-2. They still have the lead with 10:35 left to go in the second. 27 shots to 10. Nimmo, Weiss, and Render out to take the draw. Oilers will win it back. They'll try to stretch it over to the near glass, and it's picked away by Nimmo, but regained and dumped in. Lai up the boards for Weiss. Weiss will feed it up for Nimmo. It's off of his skate, and Weiss will bring it in. Centered. Oh! Just off a Render as it goes wide. Weiss will try to get it out to the point, and Lai will come down to pinch to dump it in. Weiss picks one off. They try to find Nimmo on the backside. Oh, Render's right there in front. And goaltender will get it covered up as he's sprawling to make a save. Oilers were ready to spring a man right up the center, but Weiss cuts it off to save an odd man rush or a breakaway the other way. Score is 3-2 in the second. 9:54 left to play. Shots are 30-10. Hoyt on the draw, wins it back to the point for Hicks. He'll stamp it towards the net. Gunter redirects it, but it goes wide. Hoyt chops it down and in. Oilers will rim it hard around. Hicks will throw it back down low for Gunter. Gunter throws the brakes on. Tries to find some open ice, but gets his pocket picked, and it's back the other way by the Oilers. They'll try to make a move. Can't beat Lai, and Hoyt will lift that out. Glove down by Gunter. Gunter will lift it into the zone as he'll go off for a change. Hicks working in the corner. Oilers will rim it around. Held at the point by Cooper Hicks, but it's back the other way. Timmins will dish it over to the far side and thrown in on the glove of Konechny, and he'll make a save and take the face off. Should be to his right. Instead, they'll take it to his left. We'll get Resman, Hauer, Rinder, backed up by Tolley and Resman. Chopped down low by the Oilers. Jake the Snake Resman takes it into the corner. Oilers trying to get it out front. It'll trickle in. Poked away by Konechny, and the shot will go wide off a body, I do believe. Oilers will hold the zone. Jake the Snake Resman gets it out over to his brother. Resman following it back up. He'll poke it towards the net. Freeman will settle it. And that'll be lifted out to center ice where Gus Tolley will send it over to the near side for Hauer, just out of his reach. Hauer will bring it in. Rinder there as well. Brings it towards the net. Shot. Oh, goes wide from Resman. I'll leave it for Hauer. Gets it out front. It's going to come all the way out looking for Tolley, but it goes all the way through. And Jake the Snake Resman, Johnny on the spot over there to seal it up. Poked away by Resman. He'll walk it in. Fires a shot. Saved. Loose. And Freeman will get that covered up. And we'll get a whistle with 7:55 left to go in the second. 3-2 is the score. Bulldogs have the lead and the shot lead of 33-11 with over half the game left to play. Nimmo wins it back to Orn. He'll throw it towards the net. Weiss trying to work it out front. Leaves it for Nimmo. Back over to Weiss. Nimmo comes in, working it back the other way. He'll rim it around, and Orn will go in to pick it up. Orn with a nice hit. Weiss jamming away. Brought around to Nimmo. Back down low for Orn. Orn tries to work it out front. That'll careen off a couple of sticks. And Timmins will pick it up. Brings it out to center ice, but that's off a skate. And that's in offside as Oilers are in backwards before the puck with 7:09 left to go in the second. They're going to pull that all the way down to the Bulldog bench on the intentional offside. Hoyt, Gunter, and Hicks out to take the draw. Backed up by Hicks and Dortch. One over to Landon Hicks. He'll dance it down low. Tries to chip it out front. And it's picked away by the Oilers. They'll throw that down the ice where Cooper Hicks settles it. He'll lift it into the zone, and that should have been an offside. Should have just went ahead and touched that, but oh well. Oilers will get an easy breakout as Hicks and Hoyt will bring it in. Hicks drives it wide, tries to center it to Hoyt, but it's cut off by the Oilers and cleared out to neutral ice. Hicks leaves it for Hoyt. over to the other Hicks, back over to Gunter, and Gunter winds up. He'll bring it in wide. Gunter fires a shot. Goal! Beats Freeman. Beats Freeman glove side low from the face-off circle. And it's 4-2 Bulldogs. Gunter gets a little excited on the celebration on the glass. With a nice check there up against the glass, he bounces right off. Celebrating with Bogaki and Renko over behind the Bulldog, behind the Oilers goaltender. Resman, Hazelhorst, and Render bring it in. Hazelhorst dumps it down low. Freeman out to play it. He'll send it hard off the glass. That's going to come out to Jake the Snake Resman at the point. He'll send it over to Lai, just out of his reach, and now it's down low into the Bulldogs' defensive zone. Lai throws the brakes on, trying to work it north. Resman comes in, takes the body, and Lai will exit the zone. Oh, but it's off the skate of Render, and Oilers will hold. Resman pokes it away, Jake Flavor, and it's rimmed all the way around for Hazelhorst. Hazelhorst blocks the shot, and it's going to come in, and the Oilers have got to tag up. Resman over to Lai, up the boards hard for Hazelhorst, and they're going to wave that one off. It's going to go around the boards to Render. Render will drop it down low for Resman. Resman fires a shot, save by Freeman. Back out in front, and that's the left. And Hazelhorst right there looking to clean up the trash, but the Oilers goaltender will get that covered up for a whistle. Face off to his left with 5:13 left to go in the second. 4-2 Bulldogs is the score. Nimmo, Wallace, and Weiss, backed up by Resman and Lai. Nimmo wins it into the corner. Oilers shovel it around to Weiss. He looks for Wallace on the back door. With the hot pass, he's not able to settle it. Wallace fires one in. That's off a skate and down into the corner for Weiss. He'll rim it around for Nimmo. Nimmo tries to bring it back the other way. Up the boards for Resman. Resman finds some open ice. And it's picked away by Timmons, and it's back the other way. In a 2-on-3, they go far side, and the pass is off the mark. And Lai comes in and takes the body. Nimmo picks it up on the near boards, and it's back the other way. Nimmo brings it in through the top of the slot. Turns, fires, save. Wallace, rebound. Oh, it's cleared out. Out to the point for Lai, back in front. Loose right there. And the goaltender will poke it away. Lai back in front, off the leg pad of the goaltender. And that's going to come out to center ice and thrown cross ice by the Oilers. Resman in there to try to knock it away. And that's cleared out by the Bulldogs, and the Oilers will settle it. At center ice, picked away by Hoyt. Hoyt races in, shot, save, and not able to convert on the rebound. Oilers having a tough time clearing it out of the crease. Resman back to Tolley. Tolley up to Gunter. Gunter will look to redirect that in, and it'll go up into the bench for a whistle, keeping some coaches and players on their toes. They're going to pull that all the way down to the Bulldog zone. Boyd on the draw. Wins it into the corner for Tolley. Boyd lifts the stick, sends it around the inboards for Cooper Hicks, who gets it up to Gunter. Gunter couldn't settle it. Back down for Hicks. They'll go back up the boards for Gunter. Gunter will pick it off. Works it over to the near side for Landon Hicks, and he'll overskate it. Backed up there by Hoyt, who brings it in, who's bodied off the puck. Gunter trying to work it down low. He'll get it over to Hicks. Hicks in by himself. Shot, save, rebound. Denied. Hicks trying to survey his options, goes over to Hoyt. Hoyt snaps one on net, looking for a 5-hole. Gunter with it down low, tries to get it out front to Hoyt. Gunter with it again, works it in. Hoyt, shot, saved by the goaltender. And Gunter will pick it up down below the goal line. He'll send it out to the point for Tolle, who sends it back down for Gunter. Gunter over for Tolle, shot, goes just wide, and that's going to go over to the far side where Hicks is able to pinch, and the Oilers can't clear it out, and it's dumped in by Hicks. They center it. Hicks fires a save. Fires one on net, and a leg pad saved by Freeman, and it's 2:32 left to go in the second period. 4-2 is his scores. I think the Bulldogs had about 10 shots on net just in that shift. It's now a shot differential of 43-11. Josh Resman will take the draw. He's flanked by Hauer and Grinder. Backed up by Jake the Snake Resman, Justin Lai. Resman wins it back to Resman. Oh, knocked away by Simmons. They battle. And that's down the ice for Lai. He'll chip it up for Render. And the Oilers will throw that in from the red line, and that is an icing whistle. And it'll be an no-zone face-off for the Bulldogs with 2:16 left to go in the second. Resman on the draw. Oilers win it over to the boards. Resman able to hold the zone. Gets it over to Rinder. Rinder, forehand backhand shot. Oh, a save by... No, it was not in. That was 100% a save, but that was a beauty. My goodness, Freeman got that blocker out there to pull it right off the goal line. And it stays 4-2. Resman on the draw. Wins it back to his brother, Resman. Fires one on net. And that's blocked away. Josh Resman will pick it up, takes it to the corner, makes a move. Trying to get the Bulldogs set up out front. Rinder comes in to help. He'll drop it back down and in, and Oilers will clear that out to neutral ice. Resman sets it up for Lai. Up the boards for Rinder. Rinder brings it in. Throws it towards the net, and Hauer streaking towards the crease. But Freeman will get it covered up. And no rebound. Nimmo, Weiss, and Hazelhorst coming to take the draw. Weiss chops it forward. Lai tries to fire towards the net. He'll hold the blue line. Nimmo makes a move. Lai sends it towards the net, and now they're going to go to the box. The Oilers will go to the box as Nimmo lays a big hit. And Nimmo lays a big hit on the Oilers defenseman. And then Lai also takes a big hit but makes a play. Nimmo was going to the box. He thought he was he thought he had a penalty. He was ready to walk in. So the Bulldogs will be on the power play with 1:12 left to go in the second period. Score is 4-2. We'll get Tolley Hicks on the defensive end, and the Oilers will win that and just hammer it all the way down the ice. Konieczny will rim that around as he comes out to play the puck. Oilers will fan on the shot. It'll trickle in on net. Konieczny will play it. Gus Tolley there ready to pick it up and clear it right out of the zone, but Konieczny plays it safe and holds it for a whistle. 56 seconds left to go in the power play, or in the period. 1:44 left to go in the power play. One back, Tolley will rim it up the boards for Hicks. He can't hold on to it. Konieczny with a save. And Tolley will skate it out of the zone. He'll wind up, dumps it down and in, and he'll chase it. Oh, big hit there by Tolley. That's going to come out to Gunter at the point, who tries to skate it down and in. Hicks there to back him up. As it's poked away, Gunter from the corner. 24 seconds left to go. They try to get it over to Hicks. Hicks will skate it. Leaves it for Tolley. Fires one. Goal! Off the stick. Redirected by Hoyt. With just 13 seconds left to go in the second period. And the shot from Tolley redirected on net by Kyson Hoyt to make it 5-2. Bulldogs will convert on the power play. 47 shots to 13 in favor of the Bulldogs. That is an unbelievable score. Your goal shot differential. And the only thing crazier is that Freeman has saved 42 shots already tonight. Bulldogs will win the faceoff back to Hicks. He'll dump it down and in. Freeman out to play it. He'll send it hard off the glass. Render tries to settle it. He'll pick it. Tries to work it out front. That'll do it. Third period expires with a score of 5-2 Bulldogs. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the third period. Konieczny out to the crease to start the third period. We'll get our senior line here with Nemo, Render, and Wallace, picked up by Lai and Dortch. Wallace picks the pocket, brings it into the zone with Nemo, leaves it for Wallace. Wallace fires one, goes just wide. Render with it. Sends it out to Lai at the point. He snaps it towards the net, looking for the redirection from Wallace. He'll chase it to the corner. Down low for Nemo. Nemo centers it, but nobody's home at the top of the crease. And the Oilers are back the other way. They'll dump it down and in. Dortch comes in. She'll lift the stick, leaves it for Wallace. Oilers pick it away. And into the corner goes for Lai. He'll rim it hard around. Looking for Render. And he's going to go to the box. As they'll call that a late hit. And now the Bulldogs will be on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes with 13:07 left to go in the third period. Josh Resman Jr. on the draw. Oilers will win it back. They send it over to the far side, and Patton Weiss will pick it up. He'll fire it all the way down the ice to kill off some penalty. Freeman sets it up for the Oilers. They'll wind up through neutral ice. They bring it in wide. Resman lifts the stick, poked away by the other Resman, and Cooper Hicks will clear that out. It's going to go all the way down, and Freeman out to play it. He'll send it hard off the glass. Jake the Snake Resman dumps it back down and in. Freeman out to settle it again. Resman comes in. Josh Flavor puts some pressure on. Oilers with some fancy moves right through center ice. Resman avoids the hit. And the Oilers will lift that in offside, and now Resman's going to go to the box for a slashing call. And so now it's a 5-on-3. And the Bulldogs have got another 56 seconds before they get a man back. Nemo takes the body. Oilers will come in, pick up the puck, send it out to the point. McCadden will walk the line, throws it into the corner. And then it's mishandled by the Oilers, and Hicks will clear it out to the point. They fire one, save Konechny, knocked away by Resman. And he'll try to clear it out. Timmons gets it, shot. Big glove save there by Wade Konechny as he'll flash the leather. That was windmill worthy all day long on a beauty of a save from just outside the slot. 20 seconds left to kill off before Render's out of the box. Hoyt wins it over to the near boards. Oilers trying to find some open ice. They'll walk it in. Shot, goal as Konechny is screened through traffic. He didn't have a chance on that one, and it's 5-3 Bulldogs, but Oilers inch up on the Bulldogs. 9 seconds. We got another minute 14 before Resman's out of the box. Hoyt on the draw with Hicks on the wing, backed up by Tolley and Lai. One back to Tolley, and he'll dump it in. Hicks will go in on the forecheck. He'll try to knock it away from Timmons. Up the near side boards. Oilers delay on bringing it in. They fire a shot. Blockered away by Konechny. Hoyt trying to clear it out. They try for the wraparound. Konechny with the save. And he'll get it covered up with the blocker. And a whistle with 10:46 left to go in the third period. Oilers starting to creep up with on the shot count. It's now 48 for the Bulldogs, 18 for the Oilers. Got another 44 seconds left to go on the penalty kill before Resman's out of the box. Hoyt on the draw, tries to win it back. Konechny with a save. Resman comes in, trying to take the body. Oilers with possession. They'll send it out to the point. Shot. Blockered away by Konechny. And Hicks will pick it up and clear it down the ice. Oilers will get it set up. Hoyt with it. Sends it over to the far side for Hicks. Cooper flavor. Hicks will throw it in off of a body that's going to come back out. And Cooper Hicks will jump it back down and in. And 5 seconds and Resman will be out of the box. Oilers wind up through center ice. Bring it in. Shot blocked by Resman. Gunter comes in with some pressure. They try to center that. Loose right in front. Konechny with a save. Shot. Saved by Konechny again. And Resman takes the body. That'll get worked around the boards to Gunter. Stretch pass over to Josh Resman. He'll bring it in with the move. Shot. Goal! Josh Resman fakes out the defense. There's a defender's jock in the corner. He bit so hard on that. And then he comes in and fakes out Freeman to tap it in around the blocker side to make it 6-3 Bulldogs with 9:35 left to go in the third period. 49 shots to 20 now. Nimmo on the draw, wins it back to Lai. Lai up the boards looking for Weiss. Nimmo will go in on the forecheck. That's a hat trick tonight for Resman. Lai works it up to Weiss, up to Nimmo. Nimmo brings it in wide. He'll throw some speed on, tries to get it out front for Wallace, and that's chipped away. And that's cleared up into the bench by the Oilers defense. And that's going to cost them a $12 dry erase board.
Tonight's payout is $58. 2-0-2-4.
Big payout tonight for the 50-50, $58. You can head on down to the Golden Corral and either end up with a flu or a full stomach. Either way, you're going to regret it. Cleared out to the point and poked out by the Oilers. Lyle settle it, goes hard back up the boards for Weiss, who dumps it down and in. Goes in to chase. Nimmo comes in, squeezes the puck. Tries to work it over for Weiss. And the Oilers try for the cherry pick. And it's too far out of the reach of Wellborn. So we'll get an icing whistle. And with 8:43 left to go, it's 6-3 Bulldogs. It's only a cherry picker if you're not on the Bulldogs team. If we do it, it's great. Hoyt, Hicks, and Orrin on the wing. Backed up by Tolley and Resman. Win it back to Hicks. He'll throw it into the corner for Orrin. Orrin will rim it around, but nobody's home down low. Hicks will work it around for Hoyt. He dumps it back down and in, and Orrin chops it forward for Hicks. Hicks right through the crease. Hoyt fires one loose in front, and that'll be cleared out by the Oilers. Hicks able to knock it away and chips it back north. Orrin almost gets intercepts, and Hoyt will pick it up at his own blue line as he'll wind up and bring it in. Takes it for a skate. Tries to center it, but that's off an Oiler skate and into the corner. Orrin in there causing havoc for the Bulldogs as the Oilers look to get set up in their own zone. They'll go up the boards but turn it over to Resman almost. They'll regain possession and dance it down low, and Tolley and Oilers get tied up. Both wanting a call on that one, and nobody gets one. And Resman exits the zone as they wind up. And that's a save by Freeman. 7:20 left to go in the third period. 6-3 Bulldogs is the score. They're going to drop the time down to 2 minutes. My bedtime alarm already went off almost a half an hour ago. Resman on the draw with Wallace and Gunter on the wings. Oilers win it back. Wallace able to pick it away. Gunter picks up the loose puck. He'll send it over to Resman. Resman centers it to Wallace. And he gets his stick lifted by the Oilers, and it's back the other way. They'll wind up down the near boards. Gunter is going to go to the box on a cross check, and Wallace will clear that out. And with 1:34 left to go, the Bulldogs will have to kill off a penalty. 53 shots to 20 in favor of the Bulldogs. They'll pull. Almost thought they pulled Freeman there for a moment. He was just out for a skate into the corner. Nimmo on the draw, wins it back for Resman. Resman clears it all the way down the ice. The Oilers goaltender out to settle it. Renderer in on the forecheck. He almost cuts off the breakout pass. Nimmo drives it down low, and he'll skate towards the net. Shot off the near side. Saved by Freeman, and he'll pick it back up. Drops it off into the corner. The Oilers can't clear it out. They'll leave it for Nimmo. Right in front is Render, and he'll fire a shot off the skate. It's back the other way for the Oilers. They'll bring it in over the blue line and fire a shot wide to Konechny. Lyle chopped that out to the blue line, and it's dumped in lightly by the Oilers, and Resman throws it in the far corner, but that's going to be an icing. For some reason, they'll let. We're on the penalty kill, so it's not an icing. Render tries to get fancy with one through the legs. And with 32 seconds left to go, Oilers will bring it in offside. No call. Konechny with a blocker save. Gets it up into the glass. Hammered around by Lai, and nobody's at the point for the Oilers. And the Bulldogs should be back to full strength. Oilers right through center ice. They fire a shot. Konechny with the save. Hauer battling to try and clear it out. 3 seconds left to go, and it's dumped down and in. Bulldogs will get a big win tonight. 6-3 over the Oilers. 53 shots to 21 in favor of the Bulldogs. Freeman put on a clinic, though. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Congratulations to our seniors. And we'll see you back at the rink.